Welcome into NBA Now by Chat Sports. Jeffrey Cooperstein here with you guys. On today's show, the latest NBA news and rumors items coming at you here on day 4 of 2025 NBA free agency. And we have to start with the king himself, LeBron James. There's been a lot of speculation about LeBron and the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron obviously opted in to that $52.6 million player option here with the Lakers. And it did cause a little bit of confusion as to what the future is between the Lakers and LeBron as far as their partnership goes. It seems like things could be coming to an end this season. And I do want to bring up this social from John Gambadoro, who has been one of the most plugged in NBA guys, specifically with the Phoenix Suns. But he had this to say regarding LeBron. I don't know if they trade him, never said one way or the other. Just mentioned what I was told, plain and simple. And those who know me understand this info only comes from really good sources. I believe him when he says that. LeBron and Reeves don't like playing with him regarding Luka Doncic, which we'll get into that in a moment if we need to as well. And that LA would love to move on from LeBron if they can. No idea if he gets traded or bought out, but time will tell. I'll start with this. I don't think any team is going to trade for LeBron James. Number one, he's making $52.6 million, so it is very hard to match that salary. And if you do match that salary, you are gutting your team basically, and you're going to send 4 or 5 players to the Lakers, and it would be some massive 3, 4, maybe even 5-team deal. Maybe it breaks the record in an 8-team deal after this 7-team deal for Kevin Durant just got traded. So that's number one. Number two, LeBron is turning 40 years old. He still is playing at a very high level, but do we think that he's going to keep up that level this season and beyond? That remains to be seen as well. Number three, LeBron has a no-trade clause, so he can dictate the destination. And what if that team just doesn't have the ammo or doesn't want to trade for LeBron? Then you're kind of shit out of luck. So I don't think a LeBron trade is going to happen here this offseason. And I could be absolutely wrong, and if I am, I'll be the first to admit it. I just don't see it happening. I also don't think a buyout's going to happen either, because I don't think LeBron is going to forfeit any of that $52.6 million that he is owed this season. If he negotiates a buyout with the Lakers, he's forfeiting at least 10 to 15, 20, 25, maybe even 30 million of that money. And that's the entire reason LeBron opted in, because if he had opted out, he would have almost certainly taken a pay cut off of that $52.6 million. And he didn't want to do that, so he opted into the final year of his deal. I think it's pretty clear that LeBron and the Lakers are headed towards a divorce after this season. This will be the last season LeBron plays for the purple and gold. I don't think there's any doubt about that whatsoever. I'm not sure if this is his last year in the NBA, but I do think this is his last season over there in Hollywood. Will LeBron end his career in Los Angeles? That is our poll question for today's show. Type Y for yes or type N for no. You may get hit with a YouTube ad break here in just a couple seconds. And when that happens, go on down there and get your votes in if you think LeBron will end his career in LA or not. LeBron's still playing incredible hoops, man. Last season with the Lake Show, 24.4 points, 8.2 boards, over 50% from the field, 37.5% from three, is still one of the top 15, 20 players in the NBA. And at age 39 and 40, playing 35 minutes a night, the guy is still in absolutely unbelievable shape. So yes, LeBron still is a fantastic player. The question that teams who are potentially interested in LeBron is, number one, do you want to pay that $53 million contract this season if you trade for him? Number two, do you want to deal with all of the pomp and circumstance that comes with LeBron James coming to your basketball team? Because believe me, if you trade for him, the media circus is coming and then some. Are you a team that is well equipped to deal with that or not? And those are questions that I think will keep teams off of wanting to trade for LeBron James. So ultimately, I do think him and the Lakers play out this season, and then they go their separate ways. But one thing is clear. I think LeBron is not happy with the way the Lakers have operated, and I think the Lakers are not happy with LeBron opting in to his contract. The Rich Paul statement was pretty weird after he opted in and basically said, LeBron understands the Lakers' desire to build for the future, but he also is committed to a winning situation to try to win a championship, which the Lakers are in position to do this season with Luka Doncic, with the acquisition of DeAndre Ayton, Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves as well. So those guys all put together could absolutely form one of the best teams in the Western Conference. It's just a matter of whether or not They can get over the hump. Can they fix those holes that made them lose to the Minnesota Timberwolves in 5 games in the first round of the NBA playoffs? I think that remains to be seen. JJ Redick got thoroughly outcoached in the postseason. Can they make adjustments there? And can they get over the top in what is going to be an extremely, extremely competitive Western Conference? We'll get to the rest of the NBA rumors here in just a moment, but before we do that, go get your rookie jersey right now. We have Cooper Flagg, we have Dylan Harper, all of the top rookies available when you go to chatsports.com/NBA jersey. When you use that link, which is in the comments and the description of today's show, Fanatics will send us a part of the proceeds as well. So you're supporting the channel while getting yourself your favorite rookies jersey. We have Ace Bailey jerseys available as well, Con Knipple, Cooper Flagg, VJ Edgecombe, all of the latest and greatest new players here in the NBA. We have them over courtesy of our friends at Fanatics. Once again, it's chatsports.com/NBA jersey. That link is in the comments and the description of today's show. Shout out to Fanatics for sponsoring this episode of NBA Now by Chat Sports. Go get yourself a dope jersey, whether it be Edgecombe, whether it be Flagg, whether it be Harper, whether it be Trey Johnson. You can find it over with our friends at Fanatics. All right, let's talk some Andrew Wiggins rumors, as he has been most notably rumored to potentially be traded to the Los Angeles Lakers, the man who was traded from the Warriors to the Miami Heat this past NBA trade deadline. Jovan Buha, a very plugged-in Lakers insider who knows everything there is to know about the Los Angeles Lakers, had this to say on Andrew Wiggins. I don't know if Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, Shake Milton, and a first gets you Andrew Wiggins. I've shared what I've heard, which is that Miami has been asking for a first and Dalton Knecht. I think they also want Rui Hachimura too, because they want to remain competitive. Andrew Wiggins last season with both the Warriors and the Heat, Wiggs averaged 19 points a game with the Heat. He actually played pretty well in 17 games with Miami. 4.2 boards, 3.3 assists, shot 36% from the field. Wiggs really reinvented himself after he was traded from the Minnesota Timberwolves to the Golden State Warriors, made himself a real two-way player en route to the 2022 NBA title there in Golden State, and played basically the best basketball of his career under Steve Kerr alongside Steph Curry there in Golden State. And now he goes to Miami, where he has, I think, a year or two left on his contract and could be on the move once again. And the Lakers do need some wing help. They drafted a Duke Diero, 36 overall, but he's dealing with some knee problems. He's going to miss Summer League. Think he'll be ready for the season. Then you have the uncertainty surrounding Dorian Finney-Smith, who left the Lakers to go to the Rockets. You have potential Rui Hachimura trade rumors as well. And then with LeBron James more than likely entering his final year with the Los Angeles Lakers, they could use a younger, athletic, two-way wing that Andrew Wiggins is. So that could absolutely be a potential option for the Lakers. If it were me, I'd be okay with giving them Dalton Knecht and a first-round pick. I think I would stop at Rui Hachimura, though. And instead of Hachimura, I think I would go with Jared Vanderbilt and Gabe Vincent in that trade heading back to Miami. Hachimura, Knecht, and a first would be too much for me to give up Andrew Wiggins. But I think if it were Vanderbilt and it were Gabe Vincent, Knecht, and a one, I would do that if I was Lakers GM Rob Pelinka to replace the likes of Dorian Finney-Smith, who is going to be a big loss for this Lakers team next season. Are the Los Angeles Lakers title contenders in the Western Conference? Could they win the West and go represent them in the 2026 NBA Finals? If you think they can, type C for contender. If you think they are fraudulent, go ahead and type P for pretender down there in the comment section. And while you're doing that, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. We've got the best NFL, NBA, college football videos right here for you on YouTube. It's youtube.com/chatsportstv. When NBA free agency season is around, we are the ones covering it here on a daily basis. There hasn't been a signing in almost 24 hours in the NBA, and we're still here chopping it up with you guys. So hit that sub button. We'll keep you up to date with all of the latest NBA happenings. We'll round out today's show with an interesting update around Jonas Valanciunas, who was reportedly headed to Denver, but not so fast, my friend. Donatas Urbonas out of Lithuania had this report saying Jonas Valanciunas is considering a stunning EuroLeague move and exiting the NBA per Basket News sources. Valanciunas was lured by Panathinaikos' multi-year offer. Panathinaikos is one of the best teams over in Europe. They made the EuroLeague Final Four last year. I believe they won it as well a couple of years ago. Kendrick Nunn, former NBA player, is the EuroLeague MVP over there, so they are a very respected team over in Europe. But this is interesting because there was already a trade agreed for Valanciunas to go be Nikola Jokic's backup over in Denver. So that was very surprising. And Mark Stein had this note on that trade. And he said the agreed to swap between Denver and Sacramento for Dario Saric and Jonas Valanciunas cannot be made official until Sunday, July 6th, which is the new league year. The Kings need this trade to go through for salary cap reasons, but the Nuggets' ability to convince Valanciunas to stay in the NBA is TBD. So if they can't convince him to stay, it certainly could potentially mean that trade is nixed. Jake Fisher had a further update on this deal. Jake Fisher, Mark Stein, always in cahoots. Another update on Jonas Valanciunas. Discussions are fluid between the veteran center and Denver, sources say. While he has received a lucrative offer from Panathinaikos over in Greece, I'm told, though, that any outcome here won't impact the trade between Sacramento and Denver. So this is the deal, a straight-up one-for-one swap. Dario Saric heads to the Kings. Jonas Valanciunas goes to the Denver Nuggets, and it sounds like that trade is going to go through regardless. And we'll see if Denver can convince Valanciunas to play a backup role to Nikola Jokic, or he can go over to one of the best teams over in Europe in Panathinaikos and be their starting center on what sounds to be a pretty lucrative contract for Big V over there. His last 4 seasons, he's been a pretty impressive player and been a very solid player in this league for a while now, where he's basically a walking double-double. Averaged 10 and 8 last year, 12 and 9 the year before, 14 and 10, 17 and 11. Spent some good years with the New Orleans Pelicans, spent some time with the Toronto Raptors as well, and the New Orleans Pelicans. Really solid player, man. I really like him. I've always liked him as a center, one of the better centers in this league, and still think he has something to offer. Like, I still think he could average 8 and 8 for the Denver Nuggets off the bench, spelling Nikola Jokic. The Nuggets have been looking for a backup center for Jokic for the longest time. Like, as most recent as last year, they were running out DeAndre Jordan as a backup center. So they're looking for someone who is viable, and they're looking for a guy that can really, truly give Jokic a break when they need him to. And Valanciunas would have been that perfect replacement for Jokic there in their lineup, but it sounds like he could be headed over to Europe for the final years of his career. So we'll see what happens with that one, but an interesting situation to monitor there over in Denver, who are trying to get back to the NBA Finals after winning the championship in 23, losing in 7 games in the playoffs last year. They were close last season, and I think they've had a very good offseason with the trade of Michael Porter Jr. over to Michael Porter Jr. for Cam Johnson, They re-signed Bruce Brown. If they get Valanciunas, I think they've had a hell of an offseason here. That'll do it for today's show, guys. Appreciate you for tuning in to NBA Now by Chat Sports. There's been 0 sightings, but there are still rumors to be talked about. So appreciate you guys for hanging out and chopping it up with us here today. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And until next time, have a great weekend.